Peace and blessings to you all. Uh, somebody asked me about my journey towards Islam. Why I became a Muslim. I just thought I'd do a little short video and just give y'all a little story time. Now, I'm not fit to do the whole thing. I'm not fit to go all into detail, but just to make it short, I'd give you a little story time. I converted to Islam back in 2014. I was at ACI, and those of you who are from Florida, who knows about the prison system in Florida, I'm pretty sure you have heard of that prison, ACI. And if you want to know a nickname for it, is Gay CI. But no, I was not a permanent there, but I had got transferred from a work camp to another work camp, which was, you can say ACI. I mean, yeah, ACI because it was a work camp. I got transferred from Franklin work camp to ACI work camp, but not the main unit, as they got a nickname for it, GACI. GACI or ACI, that's the main unit. The unit that I was transferred to was the work camp part of ACI. So it was a lot less trouble, a lot less of the stuff that you would see at the main camp, but it was still ACI at the end of the day, and I put it like that, but not like the legendary ACI. But anyway, um, so when I got there, probably a good month, after being there. Was it a month? Or probably like a few days after I got to the work camp. I'd say probably like a few days. Yeah, a few days of being there. I had met a guy named Melvin Alexander, who was my mentor. I still think about him to this day. But he was the first Muslim, that I actually had, you know, started having a conversation with, talking to and stuff like that. Now, before I go into this, I will say this. I was already on a spiritual level. I was already on my journey of seeking knowledge. I was already on my journey of learning different religions. I grew up Christian, was raised in the church, was active in the church. I played drums when I was little, going to Sunday school every Sunday. I was in the choir. Uh Actually, as I got older, I was in the choir. So yeah, you ain't talking just to no person that just went to prison and just all of a sudden want to become Muslim. No, I am not that person. I am not him. And I just thought I'd say that. No, I am not him. I was not one of those type of people that go to prison and all of a sudden I'm saying Allah and Muhammad and I'm Muslim. No. Back in 2013, I had started my spiritual journey. I got more into the Bible. I started praying more. And it just one day, uh, I started talking to my bunkmate. You know, and what is a bunkmate? Somebody that sleeps either on the top bed that's above you or on the lower bed that's under you. Uh, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a Hebrew Israelite. So you know what I'm saying? Me being a Christian at the time and he being a Hebrew Israelite, he used to study with his Hebrew Israelite brother. And so, I was the top bunkie, I was slept on the top. And so I just used to hit them, right? And it's like, they used to talk about all this stuff. And they used to always talk about Christianity and stuff like that. I used to like, man, I don't want to hear this mess, man. So I get off my bunk, I walk off, or either I cut my MP3 player on and stuff like that. So, just to make that short, make that little part short, I just started listening, you know what I'm saying? And, started, listening to him and his Hebrew Israelite brother talk and stuff like that. And I started, getting involved, you know what I'm saying? I started learning about Hebrew Israelite and learning about Hebrew Israelite. Okay, I'm like, okay. So I want to learn more. So I started learning about Hebrew Israelites, started digging more into Christianity, uh, stuff like that. Then when I got transferred to ACI work camp, this is when my spiritual journey really started. This is when my seeking for knowledge really started. So once I got to ACI, 2014, I met Brother Alexander. You know, we already started talking about Islam. This is who introduced me to Islam. I've never heard anything about Islam. And so, well, I put it like this: I never heard anything about it as far as talking about it and stuff like that. And so we started talking. And but actually, before we started talking, he used to observe me. Like I used to pray certain times of the day on my bed and stuff like that. And that's how it basically started with me and him. Like he used to see me at certain times of the day I pray. So he was like, you kind of, pray like how us as Muslims pray. I say, what you mean? If I could remember the conversation when we first started talking. He was like, we pray certain times of the day and stuff like that. And so to make that short, we started talking and, going over, stuff, Islam, Christianity, stuff like that. So boom, over the past few weeks, studying heavy in the books, and I made my decision to become Muslim. Now, what really got me looking in towards a lot of most stuff, it was this guy named Cali, man. I never forget this dude, man. Guy named Cali. And he used to be on some knowledge, man. I'm talking about some knowledge. So he let me read this book called Nile Valley River Contribution to Civilization. It's something like that. I can never get this title right, but it was basically dealing with Egypt. And oh man, I read that book. It mentions about Islam and about Muslims. It was Muslims and slavery. Talks about Egyptology, just all kinds of stuff, man. And that book just really opened my mind to just so much knowledge. And bro, from there, I was on one when it came to knowledge. So fast forward 2016, get to gas to reentry, the camp that I was released from, get the gas to reentry, and oh my gosh, I met this guy named Jimenez. And he introduced me to Malachi Z. York. Uh that book, the book that I read by him, it was just mind-boggling, like so much knowledge. And that's when I just got more deep into other stuff. Hebrew Israelite, Nation of Islam, Egyptology, Scientology, uh 5% Nation, the 5% Nation of Gods and Earth, Buddhism, Hinduism, uh Baha'i religion. I just learned so much stuff. I even got more into the different denominations dealing with Christianity. Like 2000, I got to that camp like late 2015, going in. No, I got there in like the middle. I want to say the middle of 2015. I want to say, but somewhere like either the middle or the kind of like the ending of 15. But I got introduced to so much stuff, and yeah. Matter of fact, I'm finna make a part two of this, but yeah, that's what led me to Islam, my journey. It's so much I could tell you, but yeah. But I'm finna make part two, man. This got to be a part two. Universal Conversation Podcast. Let's go.